I make this statement on behalf of the national, regional, and international networks of civil society organizations that came together at the Civil Society Forum for a plenary on agriculture and food systems during the UN LDC 5 conference that took place in March 2023 in Doha. Why have we chosen to focus on LDCs in this session? A global conversation on transformations needed to produce a quality change in the implementation of the SDG at the global level. Because if we do not collectively address the poverty in LDCs and build on their strength, the Sustainable Development Goal agenda will fail. LDCs account for 14% of the total global population, and yet they are home to more than half of the world's extreme poor. The Doha Program of Action for the Least Developed Countries for the decade 2022 to 2031 recognizes that progress in achieving SDGs is not happening fast enough. At the LDC 5, the UN Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed emphasized that achieving the Sustainable Development Goals in the least developed countries is a litmus test for achieving the 2030 agenda by ensuring that no one and no LDC is left behind. The stories told around the LDC conference are overwhelming stories about lack. The dominant story told about hunger, for example, is that food insecurity is the result of inadequate food supplies. In turn, that is blamed on lack of technology, lack of fertilizer, of energy, credit, storage, low productivity, and poor roads. There's some truth to this story, of course, yet the overall picture is misleading. It ignores the role of unjust global economic structures, including international trade and investment rules, in creating the challenges faced by LDCs, as indeed for much of the global south. The story suggests LDCs have limited choices and proposes solutions that depend on imported inputs and technology, all of which contribute to deepening foreign debt and vulnerability in the face of shock-prone international markets. The story ignores the fact that smallholders feed billions of people around the world today, including people who live in LDCs. Securing public investment in the knowledge of smallholder producers and their resources offer a very different and much more helpful future than continuing to insist food security can emerge from false solutions, including proprietary seeds and imports of fossil fuel-derived fertilizers paid for by exporting unprocessed commodities in highly concentrated markets. Our organizations were in Doha to counter the story of what is lacking with a story of hope and possibility. Our story is centered on investing in LDC communities, and indeed in rural communities everywhere, and in protecting and building on their contextual and complex knowledge. Our call is a call to build on agricultural strength as a pathway to prosperity. It is a story of agroecological transition toward food sovereignty and the realization of the right food and nutrition. Food production should be done in a way that nurtures the land, soil, and water, and that protects people's livelihoods and their cultures. In adopting agroecological practices, we can take on the complex set of objectives such as the 2030 agenda. If we think about the systems in which food is grown and distributed and intervene at multiple points in that system for change, we can reduce greenhouse gas emissions, can conserve fresh water, protect biodiversity, empower women, and increase farm productivity by reducing input costs. The beauty of investing in these transitions is that they help to meet a number of sustainable development goals. Any agricultural model must adapt as the world evolves around us. But agroecology's adaptations are local and specific, taking ideas and innovations from a wider world, but building on contextual knowledge learned through generations of experiment and adaptations in the field. It welcomes scientists to come and learn with farmers and their communities. For lack of time, please allow me to submit in writing for your consideration the final statement delivered at the Civil Society Forum by the co-organizers of the Food System Plenary at the LDC 5.